What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to talk about Kirk Cousins, but if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins, and what now for the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins, because recently today, the Cleveland Browns did sign Joe Flacco to a one-year deal, $4 million. And I really feel like this could have a huge effect on Kirk Cousins possibly being traded. I did believe that the Cleveland Browns was the team that the Falcons was looking to trade Kirk Cousins to, because they're still without a quarterback and they didn't have any veteran quarterbacks that was starter caliber either. But now with them bringing in Joe Flacco, that tells me personally, I believe that means that they're no longer interested in Kirk Cousins' services. And to me, this says a lot because Joe Flacco is 40 years old and Kirk Cousins is only 36 years old. So that kind of tells me that the league doesn't view Kirk Cousins the same way he sees himself. I believe that Kirk Cousins still sees himself as a franchise quarterback. But after last season, where he had that losing streak with our Atlanta Falcons, where he threw like one touchdown and like 7 or 8 interceptions, I really feel like that scared away a lot of teams. And right now, being that Kirk Cousins hasn't been traded for, I'm not too sure if there's going to be a team out there unless an injury happens. I really don't see any team, really wanting Kirk Cousins on their team, which is really, really surprising. But at this point, I'm not too sure where the Atlanta Falcons go from here. I don't know if they should release Kirk Cousins at this point, whether they should keep him on the roster disgruntled. I'm not too sure if Kirk Cousins will even show up to training camp if it comes down to no team wanting to trade for him and the Falcons being unwilling to release him. So at this point, I want to get you guys' thoughts on what should the Atlanta Falcons do in this situation. Should they just release Kirk Cousins at this point? Should they hold on to Kirk Cousins and see, if someone gets injured during training camp or during preseason or during the regular season next year so that they can get some assets for him? Or should the Falcons just cut bait and move on? Personally, I believe that the Falcons should hold on to Kirk Cousins at this point. I do believe that someone eventually will get injured, whether it's in training camp, whether it's in preseason, or whether it's during the regular season. We know that in the NFL, injuries are bound to happen. And I feel like if the Falcons want to get some capital back for Kirk Cousins, I think our best bet would be just to hold on to Kirk Cousins at this point. It does suck for Kirk Cousins, but being that the Falcons spent over $100 million for Kirk Cousins in free agency last season, I really feel like we have no other choice but to get some value back for him. I wouldn't release him if I were the Atlanta Falcons, because they invested all of that money into him. Even if he has to be the backup quarterback, it's value in having a really good backup quarterback that's starter caliber. But because we know Michael Penix has had injuries in his past, and we've seen teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have Carson Wentz playing at an elite level, him get injured, and then Nick Foles lead them to a Super Bowl. So I really feel like because Kirk Cousins does have that familiarity with the guys that's on this roster, like the Darnell Mooneys, like the Drake Londons, he knows the offense under Zach Robinson. I really feel like even his best bet at this point in Kirk Cousins would be just to let it play out and to wait, because even if we release him or cut him, I don't necessarily think that a team would just automatically pick Kirk Cousins up, because the draft is still in front of us, because there's guys in this draft that could be drafted that will be less, cost less money than a Kirk Cousins as far as cap hit and things of that nature. I really feel like Kirk Cousins is kind of stuck in a no man's land at this point. Now, I really don't feel bad for him. I really feel like he did it to himself. by the things that he's done, the things that he said. I do think that Kirk Cousins still is a really good guy when it's all said and done. I do think that he's a professional, but I also think at this point, he's in a no man's land. Like at this point, he's in a kind of a lose-lose situation. I really don't see any wins for Kirk Cousins in this situation other than just to sit back and let this thing play out. And if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to play poker. I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to allow teams, I'm not going to just cut bait and allow another team to just pick him up for nothing. Even if it's a 6th or 7th round pick, I want something back for Kirk Cousins, being that we spent all of that money in free agency for him, all of that guaranteed money. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Kirk Cousins. Do you think he should still be in Atlanta Falcons this upcoming season? Do you think the Falcons should just cut bait with him, or would you hold out and see if we can get some assets back for him? But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. If you're new to the channel, you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button for your boy. I have a lot more coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.